Hi, Ed here from keywordspeopleuse.com, and I've got an exclusive time-limited offer for you. If you book a product demo with Keywords People Use, I'll give you a free 7-day trial of our standard plan, which allows you access to our new content optimization tool. This tool hooks into your Google Search Console data so we can find all the keywords you're ranking for and what pages are ranking. We then crawl your site content and use advanced machine learning techniques like embeddings and cosine similarity to find you content optimization opportunities that will quickly boost your impressions and clicks from Google. This new feature in Keywords People Use is already showing results for people using it. Don't miss out on the opportunity of a 7-day free trial. Just go to keywordspeopleuse.com/demo to book your slot. That's keywordspeopleuse.com/demo. You'll find the link in the show notes of this episode. Hi, Ed Dawson here. And as I'm a bit busy at the moment and need a break, welcome to another one of my Best of SEO is Not That Hard podcasts. These are the episodes from the back catalogue that I think have the greatest hits and ones that are still relevant and provide great value for you. So without further ado, let's get into the episode. Hello and welcome to SEO is Not That Hard. I'm your host, Ed Dawson, the founder of keywordspeopleuse.com, the place to find and organise the questions people ask online. I'm an SEO, developer, affiliate marketer and entrepreneur. I've been building and monetizing websites for over 20 years, and I've bought and sold a few along the way. I'm here to share with you the SEO knowledge, hints and tips I've built up over the years. Hello, welcome back to SEO is Not That Hard. It's me here, Ed Dawson, as usual. And today I'm going to be talking about Google Tag Manager. And the reason this has come up to me is because I was actually setting up a new site yesterday. And one of the things I always do when I set up a new site is add Google Tag Manager to it. And I realized that I've never done an actual podcast about Google Tag Manager. I probably mentioned it briefly in the episodes where I was going through the SEO A to Z. And it might be in the top 101 tips, but I'm not absolutely sure. I need to go back to those tips at some point soon and start adding new tips in because I've got so many more than the first 101. But anyway, today, Google Tag Manager. So if you're not aware of what Google Tag Manager is, let me outline it for you. So you've probably noticed that there's lots of things, great services that we've talked about before, like Google Analytics or other analytics services like Clicky. There are tracking pixels from Facebook if you're using Facebook advertising. There's Google Ads, tracking code. There's all these sort of extra services that you can add to a site. Which require you to add in a little bit of code. We're talking sometimes just a single line of code here, and it's just a cut and paste, but they want it on your site for the service to work. And, almost every service that integrates with your website will want to do this. Now, the way that you can do it is literally go and edit your website directly, edit your WordPress site or whatever you're used to build your site. You can edit it so that you make sure that this little bit of code goes on every page of the site. But this can get really tedious when you are constantly wanting to add in new ones. And it means you've got to go back. Sometimes it can be quite complex. Say with Shopify, which was actually the site I was setting up. I'm sort of helping a friend out with Shopify. And I'll probably do another podcast about that in the future. But essentially, I was setting up Shopify for them. I wanted to add Google Tag Manager on, because essentially I'm going to want to put tracking on there. I'm going to want to put Clarity on there, and a few other services I want to sort of hook into this site mainly for analytics purposes, but potentially for other things as well. And rather than being in a situation where every time I want to add a service, I've got to go and add it directly into Shopify, which means going into the Shopify theme and editing the theme, which, is tedious. It's a quite long-winded process to do compared to using a service like Google Tag Manager. And the scope for, screwing it up, we've got to do is put it slightly in the wrong place or slightly, paste it wrong. And you could end up messing up the entire theme. So the solution is Google Tag Manager. Now, what Google Tag Manager allows you to do is essentially do that placement of the tag onto your website, so into the theme or however you do it on that site. You only have to place it once, and then you never ever have to edit the code of the actual site itself ever again for adding tags. because Google Tag Manager then gives you a web interface where you can add these tags, remove these tags, edit these tags in a nice web interface, and it will manage it all completely for you. So essentially how it works is you put that code in once, and then every time that piece of code executes for every page load on your site, Google Tag Manager will then go and fetch all the tags that you want putting onto that page and will insert them for you. So it means that you then don't have to treat it as a development process every time you want to add, remove, or edit a tag. Now, this can be especially useful if you are not the developer or have development level access to the site that you're working on. So like lots of big companies where they've got, so if you're working at enterprise level, to get code changed on websites can be really, really tedious, bureaucratic process because of the amount of hoops you've got to jump through to get it done. So if you've got Google Tag Manager on there, it means you just have to get that tag put on once, and then you can forget about ever having to bother your development team or jump through all those kind of hoops to add things and manage this on a site. So it can be really, really excellent at enterprise level. But again, even if you're at a lower level and you just paid someone to build a site for you, then you can get them to put that Google Tag Manager code in once, and then you've never got to worry about a developer again to be able to play with these tags. But even if you are a developer or have those kind of development skills, Google Tag Manager actually makes things so much easier because it's not just the simple putting the tags on that it helps with. It can actually also help with much more complex things, which we'll talk about now. So within Tag Manager, you can actually set up things called triggers, which means that actions will only take place if certain conditions are met. So, for most, for things like analytics, you will say, I want my analytics code to fire on every page. But you can say, exclude certain pages if you don't want certain pages tracked. Or you can set up to only track certain pages if there's particular ones you're interested in. You can also trigger events. So like in Google Analytics, you can set events. So you can say, right, if someone performs, say, a particular conversion action, so I want it to trigger when someone signs up for an email. I want to trigger when someone performs a search. I want to trigger when someone maybe goes to an affiliate jump page. So you can trigger and set these events to trigger on certain pages. So you can set that up based upon, the URL patterns that you have within there. So that it's actually incredibly more powerful than just being able to just simply put tags on for you and have them on every page. You can set those trigger points up, and you can even work with variables in there as well. So there's a lot you can do then in terms of improving the functionality and doing quite complex things when it comes to triggering these third-party pieces of code or not. So yeah, as I say, if any of these use cases you're going, oh, that would be useful to me, then go and look at Google Tag Manager. And, as I say, I've put it on every single site I ever work with, because even if it's just for analytics, it just makes life easier. And, for adding in any other services, it means you've then just got a simple process, much better than having to go through edit themes all the time. So I'll say, even if you're a developer and I've got the development skills to do that, still frustrating to have to go and do it all the time. Doing it in here is much simpler, and it's a great thing to do. So just go to Google, and search for Google Tag Manager. You'll find it. Really useful tool. I know that there's a lot of negativity towards Google sometimes at tools, but this one is, I think, probably one of their most useful ones that they've ever built. So yeah, I really love it, and I encourage you to use it if you're not already. Anyway, that's it for today. So I will see you next time. Take care. Before I go, I just wanted to let you know that if you'd like a personal demo of our tools at Keywords People Use, that you can book a free, no obligation, one-on-one video call with me, where I show you how we can help you level up your content by finding and answering the questions your audience actually have. You can also ask me any SEO questions you have. You just need to go to keywordspeopleuse.com/demo, where you can pick a time and date that suits you for us to catch up. Once again, that's keywordspeopleuse.com/demo, and you can also find that link in the show notes of today's episode. Hope to chat with you soon. Thanks for being a listener. I really appreciate it. Please subscribe and share. It really helps. SEO is not that hard. It's brought to you by keywordspeopleuse.com, the place to find and organise the questions people ask online. See why thousands of people use us every day. Try it today for free at keywordspeopleuse.com. To get an instant hit of more SEO tips, then find the link to download a free copy of my 101 quick SEO tips in the show notes of today's episode. If you want to get in touch, have any questions, I'd love to hear from you. I'm at Channel 5 on Twitter. You can email me at podcast@keywordspeopleuse.com. Bye for now, and see you in the next episode of SEO is Not That Hard.